That's why I don't help people cope, because coping skills don't really work. But most people you talk to will give you a whole bunch of coping skills, and then you have a whole bunch of tips and strategies in your head, and then you have to try to remember which one to use and when to use it. Or a strategy may have worked last Wednesday, but now you're in the same situation and it's a week later, you try to use the same strategy and it doesn't work today. Why? Because there's one simple truth when it comes to human beings, and that one simple truth is nothing changes until you do. Nothing changes until you do. That's why so many people spend time, money, and energy trying to get a whole bunch of information and a whole bunch of tips and strategies, and that's why nothing really changes. They get very sporadic outcomes, and most people understand this. Many people, when I say this to them, they kind of start nodding their heads going, yeah, that happens to me too. That's why people don't really change. So if you really want to change, you have to get off of that tips and strategies, concepts and theories notion that all that stuff is going to make your life different, because it doesn't. And if you don't believe me, look at your own life and see how long you've been working on any particular problem you think you have. You don't have those problems. They're only symptoms. And when one thing changes, when you change, everything else changes. So the people I work with, these things start to happen very, very quickly, because I talk about laws of human performance. And what I often say to people, your belief is not required and your opinion is completely irrelevant. So I get to make really big statements to people and kind of what I call slap your consciousness. And they kind of look at me and go, what? Really? How could that be? Because I'm actually kind of known, and I'm proud for this name, I'm known as the simple idiot in the personal development field, and I really am. I really am a simple idiot, because people will say to me constantly, are you kidding me, Dave? You telling me I can go from point A to point B in my life that easily? And the answer is yes, you can, because we make things so confusing, so difficult. If you understood the laws by which you are producing outcomes in your life, and there are 7 that I talk about, they're all provable, and here's a simple little piece of proof for you, just to show you what I'm talking about. Gravity is a law. Everybody understands gravity is a law. So if you and I are up in an airplane and we're going to parachute, we're 15,000 feet in the air, and it's your turn, and the door opens, you walk over to the door, and before you step out, you turn to me and you say, Dave, I don't believe in gravity, never have, never will. And you're really adamant about that. I'm just going to look at you and say, okay, great. So you step out, what's going to happen to you? You're going down. Gravity doesn't give a damn what you think about it. It doesn't care what your opinion is of it. Doesn't care what you think about it. You can believe it, not believe it, agree, disagree. Doesn't matter. So a law is a law. It doesn't matter what we think about it. And a law is something that happens to everyone, everywhere, at all times. No gray area. Zero gray area. Which is why I love talking about them, because I work with pretty big egos, people who are highly skilled, who have a lot of experience in things, professional athletes, corporate CEOs, people with huge egos the size of South America, but it doesn't matter. They cannot escape this. Nobody can escape this, which is why I love talking about them, because they're so easy to prove. Gravity is easy to prove. And the reason people move quickly off the mark is because there's no learning curve. With most other programs and ideas and concepts, you get a lot of theories, you get a lot of strategies, you get a lot of tips to handle whatever you think are your problems. And because of all that, your belief can be part of that, and you can have an opinion, you could like it, not like it, your beliefs kick in, and that you have all this interference before you start to move off the mark and start getting what you want. With the laws, there's nothing to think about. How long did you have to think about gravity before you got it? The answer is like that.